Hi, welcome to part 2 of the walkthrough of the syllabus for English 101, Spring 2021 8-week semester. So, now we're on the page that says Standards for English 101 Essays. I could spend an awful lot of time on this page, but here in the beginning of the semester, a lot of it won't make a whole lot of sense. What I will say, though, is let's take a look at the first paragraph, where it says, to the student. The main purpose of English 101 is to help you learn to write expository and argumentative prose in such a way that a mature, thoughtful, educated reader will pay respectful attention to your ideas. The following criteria may guide your development as a writer. Please note these criteria are concerned only with measurable achievement, not with the amount of effort that goes into writing the essay. What? Not with the amount of effort that goes into writing the essay? Yes, folks. Reality check. Effort is not what is important. Results are what is important. Let me grab my soapbox here. Let me go stand that. Hold on. Like those sound effects? Here's the deal, guys. What matters is what you can do, not how hard you work to do it. And in this, I may differ from some of my younger colleagues who are in love with effort. You know, I like sports. I watch sports. One of the reasons I watch sports is it's pretty much still a zero-sum game, right? Somebody wins, somebody loses. And it doesn't matter how much effort goes into it, right? But whenever you have like a Super Bowl, for instance, and one team wins the Super Bowl and they talk about how hard they worked, as if every other team in the National Football League wasn't working hard. Of course they were working hard. Everybody was working hard. Now, let me be very clear. I think almost anything that is valuable, worthy, is a result of hard work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work the other way. Just because you worked hard doesn't mean you created something of value. You might think that's kind of negative, but it's a reality, right? And think about it this way. Do you want to fly in an airplane with a pilot who works hard? Or do you want to be in the airplane with a pilot who actually knows what they're doing? Okay. You want a surgeon who works hard or a surgeon who knows what they're doing? For me, I kind of like to be under the knife with somebody who knows what they're doing. Not somebody who spent all night working on making sure that they got the surgery right and then the next day fouls it up once again. Okay? So just keep that in mind. It's all about the paper. I don't grade potential. I don't grade people. I grade paper. If it's a great paper, it gets a great grade. If it's a mediocre paper, it gets a mediocre grade. If it's a lousy paper, it gets a lousy grade. Trust me, I know. I was a college student once myself. I'll tell you a little story. I had this crazy idea back when I was in college, which was a long time ago, by the way. Computers were going to be the wave of the future. Oh, yes. And I thought combining an English major with a computer major would be awesome. And it would have been awesome, except I wasn't very good at computers. I'm talking about programming, right? So I took an opening programming class, a class for the majors, and I worked very, very hard on that class. I worked so hard on that class. I put so many hours into that class. I put in all-nighters, a couple of them. I only did 3 all-nighters the entire time I was in college, 2 of them for this one computer class. And I got a C+. I'm thinking that plus was a mercy plus too, by the way. I wasn't very good, okay? Well, I worked hard. If I'd been graded on my effort and the time that I put into my programming, I would have gotten an A. But my programs crashed computers. My programs got stuck in infinite loops. My programs didn't work. Simple as that. So I know what I'm talking about. And by the way, I decided after that the future growth industry would be poetry. Yeah, I can pick them. You betcha. Bottom line, it's all about what you can do. Okay? It's all about what you can do. You get a C in my class, it means you did stuff right. That's why you see beginning definition, a CSA is a competent work, a success. I realize if you're coming from the world of grade inflation, especially i.e. high school, a C is like maybe a disappointing grade. Maybe it's a grade you never even got in your life, and that's fine. But here in college, a C is a success. And then a B, and then an A. And you can read about the differences. But one of the things I want to talk about is that it's about being exceptional. A is exceptional, B is very good, C is average, passing. D is not quite so good, doesn't do what it needs to do to pass. And an F is a disaster by anybody's standards. I don't give a lot of Fs for people actually who are doing work, okay? I mean, an F might be given if you didn't turn in the work, or you plagiarized the work, or it would have to be exceptionally poor quality work to get an F. I do recommend you spend a little bit of time looking through this list, okay? Because it does help, I think, to define for all of us what is going to work and what is not going to work. Here's the final page of the syllabus. This is a template. Now, one of the things I'm going to find out when you do your first day writing assignment is how familiar you are with the MLA format. Here's the deal. I would like you to use this format. Actually, that doesn't sound right. I require you, that sounds more right. I require you to use this format, okay? So, and this is very common, and you may have already been using a format like this or almost identical to this, if not, in fact, identical to this, because this is what has been taught for years and years and years in English classes. So perhaps your high school English teacher taught it to you as well. So you have 1-inch margins, top, bottom, left, and right. Your last name should go up here, and then the page number, you should put that in a header. If you know how to use headers, right, pagination can be automatic. Then on the full left side here, your full name, my name, English 101, and the due date for the material that you're turning in. You see it's double spaced. Everything should be double spaced. The title should be centered on its own line. The first and last words are always capitalized, and all significant words in between are capitalized, like format here, but small words, conjunctions, prepositions, articles are not. The word for example, is not italicized. Capitalized. I was going to also say you don't do anything funky with the type for a title. You don't bold it, you don't italicize it, you do not underline it, you do not use a larger font, you do not use a different font, okay? It looks like the rest of the essay, just centered on its own line. And you see everything's double spaced, like I said already. Paragraphs are indented, okay? Not extra spacing, not extra lines, but indented in 1/2 inch or 5 character spaces. You should use a readable font style. So for example, this is Times New Roman. This seems to be the preferable format for MLA documentation, but it is not a required format. I've had some students who said that they had teachers who required Times New Roman. I don't even know what to say about that because it's not a requirement for MLA. It is suggested, but there's a difference between suggested and required. Use a font size no smaller than 11, but preferably 12. 12 is the easiest to read. Left justify the lines. Left justification means that the lines are smooth here on the left-hand margin. On the other side, they are what we call ragged. Okay, the ragged right. That's not a political statement, by the way. It just means that there's true spacing. Okay, true spacing. Include a word count at the end of your essay. As you will see, one of the requirements that you get for every assignment is a word count, or every essay assignment, I should say, is a word count. So make sure that you put the word count in. As you can tell, if you use computers at all, the word count often shows up, like in this case down here in the very bottom. I'm not sure that will show on your screen or not, but there is a word count there. Makes it real easy. Nobody has to count anymore. When indenting a new paragraph, indent 5 spaces or half an inch. I said that already. Consult the current edition of the MLA handbook to make sure that all the documentation is done correctly. And again, for our purposes, the 8th edition is still the current edition. Consult the out-of-class essay guidelines for all other matters of style and format. Okay, which is another handout which has its own video that you should also be consulting. Okay, and that is the syllabus. I have one other thing to say. If after looking through the syllabus, reading through the syllabus, watching these 2 videos, you still have questions, please, please, please ask. Always ask. It's always a good idea to ask the question so that you get the information, so you get the understanding that you need to have. If you don't ask, I don't know. All right? If nobody asks a question, I proceed that everybody's good. And if everybody's not good, how am I going to know? Somebody needs to, well, in a classroom, I would say raise your hand. In this environment, I would just say communicate to me, either with an email, a message through Canvas, or come to my office hour and we can talk about it. Okay? Hopefully this will help you as you prepare to be successful in this English 101 class. Thank you.